Hi everyone, so now we're getting ready to take your Unit 3 test. This is Chapter 5 and 9 in your Ready to Write 2 textbook. So if you have that book, you can follow along with me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Chapter 5, which is talking about spatial organization. So remember, spatial means space. So a spatial organization paragraph is all about where things are located. Now, the important thing to think about when you are writing a paragraph organized by spatial organization is to choose a point of view, okay? And also stay consistent and do not change. If you are looking at items from this perspective, make sure throughout the paragraph you are looking at things in relevance to left and right, and that you do not change to this perspective, and then left and right becomes up and down. So make sure you stay consistent in your writing and don't change your point of view. The second thing that you're going to remember from our Chapter 5 study are the prepositions of place. Now, there are many of them, and you can find a large list in your textbook, but I just want to go over a few that are commonly confused that I see a lot of students forget about or mix up. First of all, above is not the same as on top of. So on top of, picture something that is touching an object. Above means there is no touching, there is no friction between the two items. Up is also different from above. Up is not a preposition. So if something is, like for example, my mouse here, my mouse is not up the screen, my mouse is at the top of the screen. Same thing here, my mouse is not bottom the screen, my mouse is below the screen or near the bottom of the screen. So don't forget, up is not a preposition. Also, don't forget, through means you're going during, you are using a space, so you're going through a space, you're not going above or below. And then also remember, over means also you're not going to be touching. So if you have an item here, like for example, my mouse is not over place, it is on top of place, or it is touching place. Okay, so now let's move on to Chapter 9. So in Chapter 9, we studied some vocabulary, specifically the ones on page 112, words that describe people, and page 115, or words that describe objects. Now, the posters that you and your classmates made, you will be able to use from your seats, but my advice is don't just rely on them. Please, before you take your test, make sure you go through those lists, and if you find a word you don't know, use your translator. Write it in your language so that you, come test time, are comfortable and don't feel like you have to stare at the poster the entire test. Now, also with description, remember, the more details, the better. Your audience should be able to draw your object or your person after reading your paragraph. Above all, clear writing is more important than having complicated grammar or vocabulary that you are unsure about. When in doubt, stick with subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb-object, much better than trying to put a lot of indirect sentences or complex sentences. Stick to a simple structure, to a simple organization, and then your ideas will be very clear, which is the ultimate goal. Now, also with Chapter 9, don't forget we talked about topic sentences. And we talked about topic sentences of descriptive and spatial organization. So this is kind of a review of Chapter 2. So when we're thinking about topic, you need to think what object or item or person or even room is your paragraph going to be about, or is the paragraph example about. Then the controlling idea, ask yourself, what is this author telling us or telling me about the topic? Some common things for paragraphs of spatial and descriptive organization are, is it telling me the arrangement or the organization? Is it telling me that the author sees this item positively or negatively? Remember, when you change the type of words in your controlling idea, you also change the type of details that you are giving the reader as well. Now, on the exam, you are going to be asked to do 4 things. First of all, you're going to be asked to describe location using the prepositions. Make sure you read directions. That's all I'm going to say. Also, you are going to be asked to describe objects using the vocabulary words. So like I said, please go over those. If there is a word you do not know, make sure you translate that before the test. Also, you are going to be asked to pre-write ideas, so kind of piggybacking off of our Chapter 6 exam. And as always, you will be asked to compose or write either a paragraph using spatial organization or a straight descriptive paragraph. Now, I hope this review is helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or leave me a comment below, and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Good luck on your test. I know you'll do great.